road trip snacks, and vehicles as theme park rides. Don't ever let anyone tell you.
Hold on, sorry.
Whoa.
Is an actual emergency happening?
I don't know.
I'll be back in like 2 minutes.
What the fuck's going on? Did he just grab a gun? What's going on?
No, there's no HIV gun. Welcome to Drafted. I'm your host, Neil Prentice, and as always, I am joined by my dear friend and co-host, Preston Thompson. Preston, how are you doing? What are you drinking tonight, my friend?
Oh, Dan. I'm good.
Uh-oh. Oh, no.
It's late, but I'm doing well. I'm trying to summon the cold weather with the first hot toddy of the season in our lovely drafted tumbler.
Yeah, nice. That looks great.
It's very good. I haven't had a hot toddy in probably 7 or 8 months, and the first one always hits just so right. But it is like 91 degrees outside, so I think I'm not quite there yet, but it's very good.
Fall hit this week for us here in North, or not quite fully fall, but like the transitional period where it's like we're sleeping with the windows open. That point, it's just really
Christmas.
Really exciting. Yeah, so hopefully, Lexi and my roommate and I.
Got it.
Okay.
Really good clarification.
That's why I called Kelsey Lexi in the last episode, because I had just finished speaking to Lexi right before recording the episode. That was the voice of one Patrick Stegemoeller, who is joining us for this episode. Pat, how are you doing? Thanks so much for joining us. Are you drinking anything tonight?
I am.
Is that 2 straws?
Sure is.
Okay.
Look, I've had a rough day. A rough day over here. It's a Sunday where I've had to do a lot of work, job work on a Sunday.
That's the worst.
So I wanted to treat myself, and I also just kind of had to scramble with what we had on hand.
Yeah.
So I made a fun take on a root beer float, which is a mostly flat bottle of Coke Zero that was like half empty with some old cookies and cream Tillamook ice cream.
Ooh, Tillamook is good shit.
And a little bit of like Dregs rum that was like sticking to the inside of the bottle.
Is it good? Honestly, apart from the descriptors for the rum and the Coke Zero being flat, it sounds delicious.
I actually prefer a nice flat Coke. The regular Cokes come out a little bit too sparkly for me. I need them to dumb it down. Just
Coke's coming in too hot for you.
It's coming in too hot. Let's take a little bit of the edge off.
It's actually not that flat.
Not that flat? We're cooking with gas then. We're in business.
Yeah, dude.
In
my sorry, just a little shout out.
Yeah.
My US Open glass from last year, which I bring up because it's US Open week once again here in New York.
Yeah, baby.
The honey deuce, right?
Yeah, exactly.
They're delicious.
If anyone's too late now, probably, but the best time to come to New York is the end of August. Come to the US Open, spend the day out in Flushing. It's like some of the best food in the whole city is out there, and then you just walk around the grounds watching some tennis. It's really nice.
I lost my honeydew cup somehow, somewhere between getting it and coming home. I was really sad about it. But yeah, delicious drink and a fantastic time at the US Open. It really, really is a fun time. Even if you go like the early rounds and you'd see, like not.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah, it's really fun. It's a good time. I am drinking a whiskey lemonade. I went and got brunch today at this like Mediterranean place, and they have this really good lemonade. So I, got my refill before leaving and saved it for now. I'm trying to get like my juices going because after brunch, I slept for like 3.5 hours today, and I don't really know why. I don't know if like sickness is coming upon me or if I just missed out on a lot of sleep this week. But energy feels low. So hopefully I can get it going for this podcast that is going to be so much fun. Preston, because we're drafting what this week?
We don't know. If anything
What?
gets the blood flowing, it's
You have one job,
unpredictability.
Preston.
It's chaos.
You have one job. It's to come up with a draft for the
I
week.
know. We're doing a live show with no seatbelts. That's what's happening here. It certainly wasn't the last time we had Pat on, but a few times ago, we had a list of things that would be okay with drafting, and we spun a wheel live because if there's anything we've learned about this show is that Daniel and I are always over-prepared. We're so prepared and so well-researched that it's not funny anymore.
Yeah, you got to live on the edge.
Yeah.
I know. So we're taking preparation fully out of it. We've got 5 drafts here, and we're going to go to wonderful partner of the show, random.org, to select which one we're going to be doing. I'm going to read them real quick. Ones we don't get to this week, we will try and come back to them in later episodes because I think they're all pretty solid. We have foreign languages as Pokemon. I'm personally biased towards that one. That's going to be a good time.
I'm rooting for that one too.
A toiletry kit with non-toiletry items. Fictional characters to form a boy band. Road trip snacks. And vehicles as theme park rides. We're going to leave it up to the random.org fates. Are we ready, gentlemen?
So ready.
The button is clicked. We are drafting fictional characters to form a boy band.
Ooh.
No restrictions here, right? Just anybody in all of fiction?
Yeah, I think so. I was hoping this one would not win because this feels like, of the options, the most like fully
Non-Pat.
fleshed out draft idea.
We can fucking
Just pick a different
do
one?
whatever we want. Just fucking
No,
spin
I like
again.
it. I like it. We're doing it.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Okay, do we have a draft order, Mr. Prentice?
We do, actually. I randomized before we found out what the draft was going to be. I have the first pick. Pat has second pick. And Preston has the third pick, of course, as always. A snake-style draft, so reverse order on even rounds. Don't feel like there's any clarification needed here. And I already have the number one pick in my head.
Do you? Wow, that was fast.
I do. This is one that I've kind of thought about before. It actually relates to a bracket that I believe we did this year with our good friend Lindsay Sue when we determined what the best fictional song of all time is.
Damn it.
And of course, if it's the best fictional song, then the guy who sang it probably a pretty good choice for a fictional boy band, especially when he is voiced by a real person who was in one of the most iconic all-time real-life boy bands. And that, of course, is Chip Skylark from the Fairly Odd Parents.
Yeah. I mean, he's just in a boy band, though.
Oh, well, he's not a boy band in the show. He's a solo artist.
I'm trying to find a way to punish you for your non-creativity, is what I'm doing. Feels like a layup.
You're trying to punish me by making a good pick?
How about this as punishment? When I listened to that episode, I was like, I've never heard this song before. It must be really great based on the way they're talking about it and how it.
Don't continue this line of thought.
You're not going to want to finish that sentence fast.
Yeah, don't continue.
All I'll say is that I had some qualms with.
How have you never
several
heard
of the
that
outcomes.
song before?
I didn't have cable when I was a kid.
Well, there's your problem.
Yeah.
What was the media you grew up on if you didn't have cable as a kid? What did you like?
My imagination.
Wow. That's why you're so
explains
smart. Wow.
So much.
Yeah.
Just running around the woods, pretending that the trees were orcs, mostly.
How did you know about the orcs? Oh, yeah, books, probably.
I mean, I watched movies, too.
Oh, okay.
Okay, nice.
Okay, I'm up.
You are up.
Okay.
This is so tough to think of off the dome.
I know. I'm already just like super scrambling. I had one name and then Daniel drafted it, and now I'm like back to zero.
So so it's people who are both musically talented and a boy.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
know what
but
I'm really
also-
finding hard is the boy part.
But also,
It's eliminating a lot of people.
You probably want some some charisma in there, maybe some
Ash Ketchum.
Whoa.
Can Ash Ketchum sing?
He's got a Jigglypuff.
Can Ash Ketchum dance?
Wait, you can't. Why are you moving on to the next question when his answer to the first one was he has a Jigglypuff?
It's a good point.
That wasn't an answer to the question at all.
He's got all his Pokemon.
Okay, so you're saying you're drafting Ash and his Pokemon.
Right. Ash and his possessions.
His possessions. Do we get the possessions of the characters that we drafted? They change my formula going forward.
No. Do we think Pokemon are possessions?
Look, either this is going to be a list of fucking, like, castrato eunuch boys, or...
Wait, hang on. You know that the phrase boy band isn't literal.
What?
Right, mostly they're, like, in their...
They can be men.
Yeah, they're men who are,
I thought you meant... Okay, gotcha.
Appearing as though they are, 19.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which Ash does not, I would argue. Oh, here's a question.
No, he's an actual child.
Yeah, he is an actual child. He stays the same age throughout the entirety of his story arc, right? Does he age?
Sure. It doesn't seem like he ages.
I mean, the whole thing takes, like, his whole deal takes place in, like, 2 years.
No.
Really?
His whole thing took... No. He just ended, like, 2 years ago.
He finally won Pokemon League.
Yeah, he became Pokemon champion at the conclusion of the Pokemon Sword Shield arc, and then like with Scarlet Violet, which came out a couple years ago, that's when they finally started.
And he's just like still 11 the whole time.
I think so. I don't know. I didn't really, to be honest, I never really watched the original anime, but I definitely have not watched the 2.5 decades worth of anime after that either. But I feel like every time I saw anything, he was still a boy, approximately at that age. Like
so he's already taken the Haley Joel Osment puberty suppressing drugs, which is great news for this boy band.
Yeah. Okay. Preston, do you have a pick to go with? Hopefully 2 here, since you go back to back.
I have 1.
Okay.
I think I have 2. Okay.
That's great news.
I'm gonna go with everybody's favorite teenage heartthrob. I'm going with Troy Bolton from High School Musical.
Oh, that's a great pick.
Yeah, this was like the thing that immediately came to mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Feels like he's going to have the ladies swooning, Especially now that he's all jacked from Iron Claw. Although, I don't want that version of Zac Efron. I want the earlier.
Troy Bolton. And you definitely don't want that.
Are you telling me right now that High School Musical and Iron Claw are different universes? I'm pretty sure they're the same. Okay, no way.
Is his name Troy Bolton?
Yeah, that's a good point. Do you guys have any particular relationship to High School Musical as a project?
How deep into this do you want to get?
Pretty deep. I want to know. I want to get to know the real you here.
This is an insane draft topic, so I feel like we should mostly get off topic as much as we can.
Yes. That's why I asked.
I was like kind of a closeted theater kid in like my youth.
I can see that.
Ironically, the closet that I was in was, but I.
No, I don't know.
Just let him have it. Let him have it. We got to move on.
I would like do musicals, but then like tell people my parents were making me, even though right.
Yeah, I don't want to be here.
It and enjoy doing it.
I went to juvie and they told me I had to get like arts experience I
went to like theater camp when I was a kid during the summer. It was great, and then I just like absolutely never told anyone that I did that. So High School Musical. On the one hand, I was very much like on Main Street being like, this is dumb and making fun of it, even amongst the like theater people that I was sort of like begrudgingly with. But also I was like, damn, if only I could be that free.
Mm-hmm. If only this were real life.
That was powerful, Pat. That was powerful.
I still don't think they're good, to be clear. Like the High School Musical movies, like those ones are like, that's not like what a good musical is. But, I had a lot going on in pertaining to that movie back in the day.
They're not good, are they? No, not really. What's sort of annoying about the first one, while we're talking about it, is that, and Pat's gonna really agree with me here, I feel. The big hit songs from the musical are not related to the characters, and they are on the line of diegetic and non-diegetic. Like when Sharpay and Ryan are doing their audition in High School Musical, and they come out and sing "Bop Bop to the Top" or whatever. which is a song about like them like being in a relationship, but their brother and sister. Like, how is the music being used there to tell the story? It's not. It's just a song that they wanted to be on Disney Radio AM or whatever the hell was happening back then.
Right.
So I find that pretty annoying.
I'm with you.
But okay, we can move on now. I said my piece.
I do agree with you on that.
I appreciate that.
You're correct in that.
What a beautiful moment that was. Thank you both for sharing.
You're welcome. I'm going to go for my second pick here, somebody that weirdly I think is a nice compliment to Troy Bolton. I'm going with Uncle Jesse from Full House. I'm a little giggly here because Troy Bolton needs to be 18 or else my whole team's going to fall apart. I need everybody to be like an adult here. Having a high school kid is a problem, but if he's in High School Musical, it's going to be hard to argue that he's no longer in high school. But yeah, no, we're doing Troy Bolton and Uncle Jesse.
Don't they go to college in High School Musical 3?
They go to college in 3?
Don't they? I don't know.
They're definitely
honestly.
still in high school in 2, so he's like a junior. Probably.
Let's look it up.
1.
I'm going to look it up.
What's up with Uncle Jesse from Full House? That's John Stamos?
Yeah.
Yes.
The like kind of pervy uncle who like lives in an attic and
He's not pervy. He's a great uncle.
Well, you can be pervy and be a good uncle.
He's a wonderful guitar
I think
player.
You should be a
He's a
bit
rock
pervy
musician.
if you're a good uncle, like an appropriate amount.
Should have an edge. Yeah, that makes sense.
Just FYI, they High School Musical 3, the subtitle, and probably people are mad at me about this, is senior year. So presumably they at least turn 18.
Okay, well, I want High School Musical 3 Troy Bolton.
Yeah.
And I'm pairing him
Uncle
with
Jesse
season
is
1
an
Uncle
interesting
Jesse.
one. That's an interesting one, Preston, because...
Isn't he like 40?
No. He's not that old. I would guess he's probably like 30-ish, I would guess, in the show. But he is musical. He's the lead singer, but it's famously a rock band. Very much not a poppy kind of boy bandy band.
Yeah, but...
Even though he has the look for one, I would
But
argue.
who's his favorite band in the show, Dan? Do you remember?
I just remember that he does a lot of Elvis impressions.
His favorite band is the Beach Boys. So I feel like John
really?
Stamos has a hidden boy band performer buried, and we're going to bring it out of him.
Also, I feel like in many ways Elvis was the first boy band.
No, the Beatles, I would say.
He was more of a band boy.
Just in terms of like, he's a band boy. He was a band boy who, by
He's
just
a band
like
boy.
sort of somewhat deviously, shaking his hips a little.
Oh, you're just okay. You're saying like in terms of like
Appeal.
following.
Yeah.
Because he very much was not a band.
No, but he's like
Absolutely
first
not.
person to get people to be like medically
All I'm saying
ill
is-
at the sight of him.
Just based on who I've been jotting some names down here. Based on who I think I'm going to be picking, the critique that this person's music is not quite aligned with traditional boy band styles is really not going to be the main issue.
Okay. I see.
It's really fair. I mean, you did draft Ash Ketchum, whose musical style
Pat
is
going more
TBD.
spiritual with it, which is why we bring him on this show. Yeah, I think it's a fine pick, Preston. Pat, where are you going with your second pick?
I'm going to go Jack Dawson. It's Leonardo DiCaprio's character from Titanic.
I like this, actually.
I mean, listen, in the traditional route of a boy band, you've got a greasy, fat, balding producer that just finds a group of spunky teens and says, we're going on the road. You guys are going to make me a shit ton of money. And that's what I feel like Pat's doing here. Is what he's seeing is he's eyeing potential. He's like, I will turn you into something greater than the sum of your parts.
Yeah, I mean, he's the young Titanic Leo. I feel like had the most sort of like cross-generational appeal to like people who are attracted to men. You know what I mean? Like everyone from ages like having your sexual awakening at 11 to like 60-year-old women were, all agreed that like, yes, this is what we want. I think that's powerful. He also he danced at one point in the movie. He's clearly like very clever and can like pick things up and can learn. I feel like if this greasy balding producer guy was like, all right, Jack, you're going to be the pretty face of this whole operation. I'm going to need you to learn how to get out there and shake it. he'd be able to.
He's gonna go. He's gonna be on board with it.
Yeah.
And also, like you have your first music video tailor made already, which is going to climax with like Jack as the head of your boy band on the bow of a ship.
Yeah.
Which will probably be the biggest music video. And what was what was the YouTube music video channel called? Remember it was like do you remember this one had like its own name? It was like Vivo or something like that.
Vivo.
Remember that?
That's still around.
Is Vivo still a
for
thing?
sure?
Why did they do that? Why did they differentiate that it's like a different thing? And it's not just
I don't know,
YouTube?
man. Money.
You're asking why
Power.
a tech company did something
Yeah,
that
why do they do
seemingly
anything, man?
It doesn't
has
make
no
sense.
real reason for being, but allowed them to brand a new thing and charge for it?
Yeah, it's weird to me, right? Am I wrong in this? Am I wrong?
No. no, you're not.
All right. I love the direction Pat is going. I can't wait for him to finish out his team. I have one pick ready to go. I'm gonna have to think about a second pick here. But I'm just gonna go and maybe get some reactions from you guys while I try to think of another pick. I'm gonna go with Steve from American Dad, who if you've not heard him singing his songs, genuinely incredible. And in the show, he forms a boy band called Boys 12 or B12.
Is Steve the fish?
No, Steve is the son.
He's the son.
He's got Dan, as the kids would say. He's got no riz.
No. Okay, but you've not seen his singing like form. He oozes riz when he busts out like the button down white shirt with no buttons, and he's got crazy abs, and he's singing about how hot his mom is.
Abs are important here. There's a certain ab quotient. That has to be met.
I'm winning.
I feel like
abs
Troy was a little
Bolton
too
and Uncle
waifish.
Jesse.
No, but Troy didn't really have abs, right? He was a little waifish at that point. That was before Efron started doing steroids and fucked up his face. And I feel like I hope Uncle Jesse doesn't have abs. Like it's a problem if he does.
Oh, yeah, I do. I do very sincerely need you to listen to.
Let's play a clip right now.
Yeah, play a clip. Play a clip
Gosh,
of Steve.
dang it, you guys!
American Dad.
When you say shit like that, it means I have to do it. Come on.
Better lose that boyfriend before I fist him.
B12 will make you feel all bright and alert.
Lay down on my bed and take off your shirt.
Boys 12, the biggest boy band, and that's for sure.
More boys than I think you've ever seen before.
Dark leafy greens will give you other things, but you'll get B12 when my man sings. Oh, girl, you need a shot of B12.
Whoever drew abs on this child should be put on a list.
Yeah, I agree.
That would be the direction of Seth MacFarlane.
What's the more boy band one?
B12. I think it's just like shot of Boys 12, B12, something like that.
This is a good song.
It's good.
This is much better than that Tooth song.
Yeah, it's a banger.
Even though it's about his mom being hot.
Yeah. It is about his mom being hot.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Also, for the record, I don't like American Dad, the show, but these songs bang.
It's good that you clarified. People were going to write in.
So you were like,
Okay.
I'm not into American Dad, but I have a Google alert for songs sung about.
No, honestly,
your
I
mom
think
being
the
hot.
first time I encountered this was like just like a viral video. The guy who voices him is Scott Grimes, who's in like Band of Brothers. He's in the Orville, and I had no idea that he could sing. And there was like a clip of him went viral because he was at Comic Con or something with the panel from like the cast from American Dad, and they had him sing, and I was like, holy fuck, he can fucking sing. And you wouldn't ever expect it, like if you'd only ever seen him in Band of Brothers, like I had up to that point. And so then I went, they have like, as far as I know, 3 songs. There's like his daddy is gone, Dan, That's My Mom, and then when they form a boy band, T and his friends and some other characters in the show. Boys 12, B12, and it's also a bop. It's like a boy bandy bop. So I feel great about these picks, which is good. Which is good because I have no idea where the hell I'm going to go from here. I am going to go ahead and take, because I think it's important that you get, you want lots of different kind of voice ranges in your boy band. You really want that full, spectrum of range. So I'm going to go ahead and take Alvin Seville of Alvin and the Chipmunks to really nail those falsetto notes for
I
me.
had him. That's another steal you've taken from me.
I am just on such a different wavelength from you guys on what
No,
criteria
listen,
is
that's
for this
apparent.
draft.
That's apparent. I get it.
All right.
Yeah, Pat is really going much more, as the kids would say, aura focused here, and just betting on his ability to turn them into singers. Preston, I think, going more for the kind of baked-in musical talent, shall we say. So, Preston, you really had Alvin on your list, huh?
And you're going exclusively for cartoon characters.
So far, yeah. That wasn't by intention.
He's like the leader, right?
Yeah, well, it's
Yeah.
Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, it's right there in the name, pal.
So is he? Are you envisioning him playing the leader role? Like, is he your
very
JT?
Oh,
Is
Justin
he your Harry
Timberlake?
Styles?
I was like, who the hell is JT? No, I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I haven't filled my whole team out yet, Pat. I don't have to make those
We'll have to
decisions
find
yet.
out, I think.
Okay. I'm up next, right?
You are.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So far, I've got a child and his fantastical creatures.
Yeah.
I've got Jack Dawson from Titanic,
Uh-huh.
who's like the pretty one.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I want the like kind of smart, nerdy one that like girls can like feel a little bit better about like liking, because it's like a little bit of a like, oh, I like him because he's into books.
The bookish one.
I'm gonna go with Will Hunting. Because he's actually a fucking bad boy, but he's the bad boy with smarts.
Bad boy,
which I
with
think
smarts.
is like the bad boy with a heart of gold, who is the book guy. Like that's like a important role to fill in this band. And we'll auto tune it if he can't sing.
This is the first pick I'm concerned about, because I don't think you're getting more than 1.5 albums out of Will Hunting before he completely just leaves the band or completely tears it apart.
I feel like that's the lifespan of a boy band, anyways, right? It's like 2 albums and then.
Well, I feel like you're
Solo.
signing a contract for at least 4.
Mm-hmm.
That you're trying to bang out in 4 years.
But the last two don't have anything. They don't have any sort
People
of
forget
luster.
about them after,
Yeah.
later. Yeah, I mean, maybe it's good to have someone leave, because then it kind of musters up a little bit extra interest. Like, oh, how do they sound without Will Hunting on the 3rd album?
I mean, not a boy band, but Destiny's Child had like 8 different people in it over the course of the run, and
Great point.
worked out fine.
It was like a title that got passed from person to person.
I thought they just had.
Yeah.
I thought they had the 3.
No, dude.
They had loads
So why
of
do I
people.
only think of 3?
Because there's the 3 that Beyonce is sort of like retconned canonically to be like, these are the ones that I'm still cool
OGs.
with after my dad
Really?
like fucked
Is
the
this
other
true?
band members. Like,
Oh,
no, like contractually.
oh. Okay. Okay. That's extremely different than what I thought you meant.
Your reaction there was so genuine. That was great. Oh, no! What a betrayal of trust!
I'm looking this up now. Yeah, that was fucked. I mean, I wouldn't put it past the music industry. Let's say that. Oh yeah, when you look at Destiny's Child, there's like a whole list of people who were members, past members. Okay, it's not as many as you were saying. Beyonce, Latavia Roberson, Kelly Rowland, LaToya Luckett, Farrah Franklin, and Michelle Williams. I just think of Beyonce, Kelly, and Michelle.
Right.
But yeah, there's 3. There's 3 more than that, I guess.
There's 3 orphans.
Interesting. Preston, how do you feel about this Will Hunting pick?
The accent concerns me. That's really what it is.
I mean, wasn't
Yeah.
Marky Mark in a boy band essentially?
Oh, he was?
He was.
Yeah.
Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
Funky
Isn't
Bunch?
that what it was?
Yeah.
I think so.
We've had this conversation on this show. We are now overlapping ourselves. Or somebody told this to me. I learned it, and now I'm teaching it back to you.
The draft that is swallowing its own tail, if you will.
Yes, that is exactly what's happening. I think the Will Hunting pick is cool. I mean, I think like during one of the solos, he can like solve some complex equation on a whiteboard on stage,
Oh,
and
man.
that's got a certain kind of energy to it.
There's a lot of like, stuff with apples, that
Yep.
fans can get into.
Yeah. Yeah. Does he have to travel with
it's
Robin
the forbidden
Williams?
fruit,
Is the second album or first album Them Apples? Second album?
No, that's going to be his first solo album when he goes off
Oh,
solo. 'cause
Nice.
Rogue.
That's the sexy back.
But he's
Yes.
so it's like he makes a solo album, but it's still under contract with my management
Oh,
company here because
okay.
I sold exclusive rights for 4
So you're forming a
albums
whole
from him.
media empire here.
Yeah,
Basically.
I'm the balding, greasy slime ball that Preston
Yeah.
referenced earlier.
He's the Tom Hanks character from the Elvis biopic. Yes.
Right.
Um,
Wait a minute. I cannot in good conscience allow us to continue. Is it good
No,
conscience?
don't do this to
Good
me.
conscience.
Don't do this.
Good conscience.
Don't do this to me. I know what you're about to do. Shut
It's
up.
biopic.
Nobody likes that guy.
It's
Nobody likes that
biopic.
guy.
I will not stand for the official drafted pronunciation being biopic. I'm sorry, I can't do it. I cannot abide by that.
Well, the official drafted pronunciation is a split decision. So how about that? Do
No. I'm putting.
you want
up
to
with
break
that.
this tie here, Pat?
I don't feel like I have I don't think like I'm a voting member of
Just
the official
listen.
drafted
We need to
council.
discuss this. Think about it. Think about where the word comes from.
No.
It comes from life.
I'm thinking
fiction.
about how it reads off the page. That's what I'm thinking.
But think about what the word is.
Biopic just sounds better.
It just sounds better.
It sounds like an adjective.
It's like the original GIF guy was like, actually, it's supposed to be GIF, and I made it. I'm like, I don't fucking. You may have made it, but it's not yours anymore.
Yeah.
It's ours now.
I say biopic and I say GIF. Sorry, GIF.
Oh no! Pat, why?
Wait. What's the movie word that Pat can't? Oh, Pat can't say documentary.
What does
This is
Pat
true.
say? Instead?
He says documentary.
Documentary, like a documentary filmmaker.
That was weird too, the way you said it.
I mean, that's not how I usually say. What do you call somebody who makes documentaries? A documentarian?
A nerd.
Got him.
Absolutely roasted. Okay.
Anyway, it's
Fully
100% biopic. You're all wrong if you think
All right.
otherwise.
Well,
Preston,
that's nice that you think
it's your turn to pick. Give us one pick, and then we'll take our halftime break.
Ooh, boy, do I have something cooking for after our halftime break. But right now, I'm going to play it safe because I'm developing a strategy. And I'm going to put this little thought right into both of your brains real quick. I am going to require, for the purposes of the graphic, that at the end of this draft, we all name our bands. Which I get is a lot
I
of
agree.
creative juice to try and push out all at one time, but we're going to give it our best.
Please don't talk about pushing out juices.
Listen, you think this just happens? Okay. Theoretically, this is allowable, right? I'm gonna take.
We don't know yet. You haven't told us what it is.
I'm gonna take Danny Zuko from Greece.
Yeah, why would
I
go
understand that this is a safe pick, but I feel like the chemistry between Troy Bolton, Uncle Jesse, and Danny Zuko right now off the charts. I'm seeing leather jackets and slicked back hair. That's what I'm seeing. And then we're gonna throw a massive, awesome wrench into it after our break. But go ahead.
The band is definitely going to thrive when you do your whole 60s throwback era music video.
Doo-wop. That's where we're at right now. We're in doo-wop. Yes, for sure.
Yeah. Pat, thoughts?
I feel like Preston is reverse engineering like Sha Na Na or something right now. So make sure you budget. Sha Na Na was like it was like a doo-wop tribute group that like sang like 50s songs, but kind of from like a boy bandy perspective. They did a lot of like Earth Angel and like
bunch of old white
get a
dudes.
job, rock around the clock.
I do know Earth Angel. But like they covered them? Is what you're saying?
Yeah, kinda. I guess, Preston, just make sure you're budgeting sufficiently for like hair combs and pomade and leather jackets. Yeah.
No, that makes a lot of sense.
Okay, well, that does bring us to the halfway point of the random draft, which ended up being fictional characters to form a boy band. These are the teams so far. I have Chip Skylark, Steve from American Dad, and Alvin of Alvin and the Chipmunks. Pat has Ash Ketchum, Jack Dawson, and Will Hunting. And Preston has Troy Bolton, Uncle Jesse, and Danny Zuko. The second half of the draft coming up after one quick breather. Hey gang, it's that time once again to promote our Patreon. Thank you so much to everyone who supports us there already. I'm talking to you, Lauren, KP3, Lisa, Tanuki, Kelsey, Chai, Lexi, Tim, Andrew, Tyler, Benjamin, Adriax, Cody, Tim, Bobby, MC, and Sarah. Thank you all so much for the love and support. It goes so far. And thank you for all of our free members over there. Yes, you can follow for free. You guys get early access to episodes, and just getting our numbers up over there is a huge deal. So free supporters, we love you guys too. Remember, you get so many perks for being a paid member though. You get extra content every other week that only you get to see. You get constant discount codes to the merch shop. It's a great deal. We really try our best to make it worth your while. So if you're not on the Patreon already, consider checking it out, see what each tier brings you, and even if you just end up following for free, we'd appreciate that so much. All right, let's get back to the episode. All right, we are back for the second. You did that on purpose? Was that on purpose?
No, I forgot how we did the show. All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Just sort of forgot.
What an episode so far. What an episode. Okay, we are back for the second half of the draft. Preston, you have the first pick of the fourth round. Where are you going?
All right, I'm taking my lead man.
Oh.
And I could holster this pick until the end, but I'm a little worried that he may not make it. This is a directional change for the band. And if we're being honest, depending on how the rest of the draft goes, what's going to happen here is Troy Bolton, Uncle Jesse, and Danny Zuko are backup for this guy.
Okay.
I'm taking SpongeBob SquarePants.
Huh.
Yeah. Okay, sell us on it.
Well, we all know about the talents of Mr. SquarePants.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Especially playing the Mega Bowl. That's what it's called, right, Dan?
Oh, the Bubble Bowl.
The Bubble Bowl, where he is electric.
He is electric in that.
Electric. Good team player, as he has shown throughout his life.
Well, the problem for me is what comes to mind when you say SpongeBob singer. I'm probably in the minority on this, but I am so deep in SpongeBob that this is the first thing that comes to mind rather than that, which is a much more popular episode. There is an episode of SpongeBob where he has an extremely brief cameo in a Krusty Krab commercial and immediately goes to his head. He thinks he's this huge mega star where everyone wants to see him. He starts singing at the Krusty Krab to no one's enjoyment. The just catastrophical bomb of a song, Striped Sweater, is from this episode, in which he is absolutely unlistenable. So he's mercurial, I think, at best. You either get that, world-renowned Bubble Bowl performance, or this just, unlistenable cat scratch nails on the chalkboard kind of song.
Also, correct me if I'm wrong here. I've never really watched SpongeBob, but
insane.
He's a sentient sponge.
Yeah,
who can't exist outside of water.
That is true. That is confirmed in the show.
And this is what you're building your brand around.
Well,
Yeah, that's a face of a man if I've ever heard of one.
You guys got to bend the fiction a little bit. Come on.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
it's the character. Theoretically, Troy Bolton can't exist outside of high school, but here we are.
Well, no, because he graduates.
Eventually, but off screen, presumably.
I don't think so. The picture, I have not seen it obviously, but in the picture is them all jumping up for joy and throwing their mortarboards.
Also,
in the
being
air.
in high school doesn't prevent you from performing on a stage
This is true.
True.
This is
or
true.
getting into a recording studio.
He'll just have to have Sandy wears the helmet of air. SpongeBob will have to have the helmet of water. That's how he and Patrick are able to enter the Sandy Street Dome.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, absolutely. That is what's happening.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dan.
I still think it's not a good pick.
Okay. He's got massive amounts of charisma. He's going to carry the squad.
Does
and I
he?
think he's gonna
Do
win
people
the
like
votes.
him?
People love SpongeBob. I mean, not in the show.
No,
people
like in the world of the show.
No, they don't.
No.
I
What do they know?
I will say, Preston, I think it's like not even remotely close that he has the least charisma of any of your picks so far.
I'm okay. I want him when he's performing. And with the exception of the one
Can you
performance,
imagine
that you
him
noted,
having a conversation with Uncle Jesse?
He doesn't have to. He just is wheeled in for the shows. Is basically what it sounds like. He's not like part of like the real team. They keep him kind of separate, so he's not tainted by the background
Yes.
singers.
yes,
He just
That's
shows up
correct.
and steals the spotlight at Showtime, and everyone else kind of resents him for it.
Can you imagine him singing "Ripped His Pants" with Troy Bolton, Uncle Jesse, and Danny Zuko doing like background doo-wop? Incredible. We're selling records here, people. I'm seeing dollar signs.
Preston, I love your vision. I love your vision. Pat, where are you going?
Off the rails.
Okay.
Because I don't
We're
have any
not
better
there already
ideas
with you.
than SpongeBob.
Yeah, where are the
Um,
rails?
Have you guys seen the?
Preparing to Google something. Hold on. No, go ahead.
Excuse me. Have you guys seen The Talented Mr. Ripley?
Yes. Are you going to
All
take
right,
another Matt Damon character?
I'm taking Tom Ripley, Matt Damon's character.
Yeah, and a sponge
Can you-
existing on air
Hang on.
is too difficult, but
I have
multiple iterations of Matt Damon in the multiverse.
I've
is
never done
fine.
this before, but Pat, I have a request for the rest of your draft.
Okay,
Can you exclusively take
Matt
I
Damon
have the
characters?
list. I have the list of 6 more Matt Damon characters written down right now. Or I think all viable.
Hell, I'll even let you redo your first 2 picks.
No, because I think it's much funnier if it's 4 Matt Damon clones and then Ash Ketchum.
Ash Ketchum and Jack Dawson, who,
Dawson.
if we're being honest, kind of looks like Matt Damon.
Right.
Jack Dawson is the botched Matt Damon clone.
You're right, that is much funnier.
It's just 4 Matt Damon clones, Jack Dawson, and then a child who's just throwing Pokemon out there to the beat. And dads are just like, "This is what you're into, honey?
Oh.
Is this what masculinity is now?
Oh, okay.
Paid $192 each for these tickets."
Okay. Now you got to sell me now specifically on psychopath Tom Ripley.
I mean,
as
he's a
your specific
performer.
Matt Damon pick.
He can imitate anybody.
Yeah.
He's able to, like perfectly imitate Jude Law and Jude Law's dad. He's got the range, and he's willing to do what it takes to succeed in this business, which I think is
Important characteristic.
which I think is an important characteristic here. He's young. He can be gorgeous, and he's got that chameleonic performer quality that will allow him to, I think, help us diversify our style of music. So if we do one that's a little more like I feel like country pop is like pretty big right now with like the Tipsy cover or interpolation, I guess that's happening. So if we want to go in that direction, I feel like he can do anything for us.
Is that a cover?
It's an interpolation. So they use like the tipsy, like everybody in the club getting tipsy. So
Oh, yeah. Okay.
tipsy.
Yeah.
put into it. So.
That song is a banger. That's like
Right?
that's a real guilty pleasure song for me right now.
I think it's that's up there for song of the summer.
Yeah, that's really good.
So
That's very good.
I would like Tom Ripley. And look, I mean, if he ends up going down 20 years later on some charges, then we become relevant again, and they make a Netflix documentary series about us.
Yeah.
And we pull
Then the
Ash
6-part
Ketchum, we pull
HBO series comes
35-year-old
out.
Ash Ketchum up, see what he's been up to.
Oh man.
my God.
Okay,
Well,
I am
let me
going to
cross him
go
off
with
my list, knowing that I snatched it right out of my hands.
I'm going to go. This is a little more Pat style with this pick. It's not a Matt Damon character, but he is less of a proven singer. Although he does have like a good performance moment. But I'm really just going on pure charisma here. And I think this person would throw everything behind this boy band, which I think is really important. So I'm going to take Star-Lord, specifically Chris Pratt, Peter
Quill.
Peter Quill, thank you, from remind me, the
Guardians of the Galaxy.
The Guardians of the Galaxy. Thank you.
Okay.
He's got moves.
Yeah,
He can definitely move.
he saves the universe with his moves.
Here's the thing, Dan.
Mhm.
The one propelling character trait about Peter Quill for movies 1, 2, and 3 is that he's bad at being a team player.
I've not seen the third one, I'll admit.
See, what do you plan to do about that?
I mean, I don't really care. But like Pat said, and I think I kind of agree that, or maybe you said it even, that the shelf life, the boy band is short. I do feel like he'll have visions of going solo probably eventually, probably to not very much success, and then coming back. But that kind of drama can really be good for a boy band. I also think he's the kind of guy, like, one thing I've not hit enough on is like kind of like the K-pop style of, what are they called? There's like a specific word for like a person's favorite K-pop band member. What is it? It's like a weird Gen Z word.
I'm Googling for it, don't worry.
No, it's not idol. I don't know. Preston's going to look it up. But Star-Lord is going to be a lot of people's favorite member of this band. That much I am confident in. Even if he ends up not being the face, or maybe he is the face to placate his ego. But I think he's going to be a lot of people's favorite. Which I think I was lacking a little bit. I needed just some raw charisma in the group.
I can't find the string of words that's leading me to the answer. It's really difficult.
People are. Someone will know. Someone
Presumably,
will know what I'm
you're
talking about.
the guy from your first pick. I forget his name because his forgettable is that dumb Teeth song. But
How dare you?
that guy can bring it, right?
Who? Oh, Chip. Oh, yeah. He's gonna dance his ass off up there for sure.
Can we talk about Star-Lord real quick?
Yeah, please, because I'm trying to remember what my next
pick
pick is.
here. I need Pat to like really break it down because I'm having a hard time articulating why I think this is terrible, but I think it's terrible.
How much of it is that we, as a high-minded, literate, elite cohort here, are just sort of like over Chris Pratt?
Yeah.
And we're sort of just like, I
think you got to remove that from
this guy
though.
anymore.
I'm not taking Chris Pratt. I'm taking Star-Lord.
Right. So
Yeah,
I think
but
that
I
might
find
be
Star-Lord to confirm Chris Pratt's like worst tendencies.
right. Like, how much
So it's
am I
hard to
like?
separate them.
How much am I like? It was unforgivable what Star-Lord did to distract the other Avengers or make it hard for them to get the glove off of Thanos. Because I'm like, I don't really like Chris Pratt anymore.
Specifically,
versus-
I'm taking like first Guardians of the Galaxy, Chris Pratt. Or
Excellent
Star-Lord.
retcon from you. So pre-character development, where he is a blowhard asshole who can't figure
No,
out how to work in a group.
the specific moment where he saves the entire universe with his dancing.
Oh, right, that 5-second interval.
You're
Okay,
taking
give me the
Troy
worst
Bolton.
episode of SpongeBob. Then I guess when I take SpongeBob, you're like, let me pick the worst 10-second interval, and this is the one you're getting. I'm taking SpongeBob for the bubble.
I think
That
the point
what I
is
want.
the point is Star-Lord had that in him the whole time.
And he like likes 80s music, so when they get interviewed and they're like, who are your influences or whatever, he can sort of like obnoxiously list off like, oh man, like, you know, I really get deep in the stacks, like, you know, like no one's doing it like, you know, Cyndi Lauper anymore, you know, or Blue Oyster. Yeah. So he can have that sort of like semi-pretentious, like I have, you know, cassettes still attitude, which is good to have one guy like that.
Yeah, I just like Star-Lord's design as a character is not to be likable. Like that is like the point.
I don't understand how that is a realistic argument. Honestly, he's the main character of the Guardians of the Galaxy.
He's a blowhard,
but his whole point of his character is that he's likable despite his flaws. He's eminently likable and charismatic.
He's accepted. He's accepted by people despite his flaws. Sure, but those people are like his family. Not general audiences.
Like people watching the movie. Do people come out of Guardians of the Galaxy saying, oh, fucking Star-Lord fucking sucks? No, they don't at all.
I mean, I did after Avengers, to be clear. But...
well, yeah. But
just let him fucking get the glove off first, you stupid moron.
I agree. He ruined the entire, like half of the entire
Listen,
universe.
that's only because they had to get another movie out of it. That wasn't his fault.
All right, what's your next pick?
I'm mad at myself because I had thought of what was a pretty decent one, and now I can't remember it. Because I was distracted by the conversation.
It usually doesn't happen on the show because we try and write shit down. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a list ahead of time, and I stupidly didn't write it down. So now I'm going to call upon you guys to help me think of something here. Because I feel like I want someone that brings more of a hip-hop influence here. Because this is like the current boy band thing. I feel like right now we're all too stuck in like the early 2000s idea of a boy band. And right now boy bands are K-pop bands, and they're very hip-hop forward.
I would argue I'm stuck in the early 70s, but
and I am just completely blanking on a fictional character who could come in and like rap a little bit.
What about Eminem's fictional version of himself from 8 Mile?
I would allow that to be fictional because it is.
Yeah. Well, it is very Michael
a work
Jordan
of fiction.
Right.
Oh, he's even more fictional than Michael Jordan. Oh, I thought of it. I don't know why this made me remind me of it. This is definitely 100% going to cause chemistry problems with this group. Preston, you can just edit all that out if you want. I'm taking you definitely do. I'm taking Connor for real from
Never
Stop Never Stopping.
Nice. Yeah, I like that.
Watch out.
Also,
I'm on the sound of mouth. I'm so humble.
Have we discussed this movie on this podcast at all?
Yes.
Oh yeah, did we talk about it in the
sung
fictional
its
songs?
praises.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
The fact
it's so much better than you think it is.
None of those songs like made the final of the song bracket. It's craziness. There's like 4 songs from that.
Yeah, we only had one song. What song did we have in there?
Did you have Bin Laden song?
Oh god.
Did we even have any of the songs in there? I need to go back and look.
Yeah,
but this is a great pick. This is an amazing pick.
Thank you,
Dan. Hats off.
Thank you.
If I wasn't too deep on the Matt Damon
train,
I am so glad I remembered it right at the last second, because I don't think if I didn't get it there, it wasn't coming back to me for the final pick. If I'm being honest, not in terms of you guys taking it, but in terms of my brain recapturing it.
Very fair.
And crucially,
that's your face. That's your
I agree. Crucially, a real live human and not a cartoon, as Pat criticized earlier.
You now have 2 real live humans.
2 real people, yeah.
2 fuckable entities.
Yes. Critically. Well, you don't think people are fucking Alvin?
Do I think people are fucking Alvin?
People are fucking Alvin, though, is the question.
The child chipmunk?
Well, we don't know how old Alvin is.
It's not an age thing, man.
They're I mean, it's not an age thing.
He's humanoid.
Damn.
I just don't think you should limit him in that way. Is all.
I just think we found Dan's thing. Listen, everything is somebody
Yeah,
something, you know?
The chipmunks, they're my thing. Pat, what's your pick?
All right. I need the true bad boy here. Like, I think Will Hunting is sort of like the fake bad boy.
Okay.
I need the true bad boy here, and I mean, in a sense, Tom Ripley's the true bad boy.
Yeah, not the murderer.
He's a
bad
murderer,
boy.
but
Yeah.
more like he's less a bad boy
Worst
and more
boy.
just like a
Misunderstood.
sociopath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not misunderstood.
So I'm
Very
gonna
well
go.
understood.
I'm gonna go with Donnie from Eurotrip, which is Matt Damon's character in Eurotrip.
This Matt Damon pick actually kind of makes sense.
Is
Who
this
sings,
the only character?
Scotty doesn't know.
Is this the only character on your team that actually sings?
Yeah.
I'm sure Ash sings at one point over the 30 fucking years of episodes of that show, probably.
No, never.
He sings Scotty Doesn't Know. Another song, I think, from the music bracket that
yep.
we are.
It certainly was.
Look, this is vertical integration, you know? This is synergy. This is great.
Yeah, everyone's going to go back and listen to that episode. now.
And yeah, he's like the clear bad boy of the group, you know? He's like the dangerous one because he's like bald and does oral. So yeah, I'm going with Donnie.
Yeah, I couldn't have told
This
you
is
what
an
that character's
objectively
name
good
was.
pick,
It is a good pick, though. Yeah, it is.
And
good.
again, and now a third Damon.
Yeah, yeah, and I think like inarguably the best Damon so far, like for this purpose, in terms of having demonstrable singing capabilities. All right, Preston. I completely forgot until this very moment that you took SpongeBob SquarePants with your last pick, and I'm curious to see where you go with it now.
All right. Well, quick behind the curtain. For those of you that don't watch the video uploads that we do of these, I just stuck an uncapped pin in my mouth and got ink everywhere, and I don't know if either of my co-hosts noticed.
No, I didn't at all.
So if you're listening to this, that's your cue to go on YouTube, find that spot during Pat's pick where I'm contemplating and I stick a live pin in my mouth.
Oh man.
Because I'm not going to edit it out because I'm lazy. All right. I'm going to launch these picks together because I think they're a duo.
Okay.
I would like some instrumentalists.
Okay.
One of them brings a lot of personality to the group, and one of them brings some songwriting capability to the group.
Ooh, okay.
I'm taking Dewey Finn and Dewey Cox.
The Deweys.
I'm taking the Deweys.
For a
Dewey
boy
Finn,
band.
famously from School of Rock.
Two rotund middle-aged
Yes.
men.
Two rotund instrumentalists, yes.
All right, continue. Tell us on it.
No, I mean, listen. Dewey Finn from School of Rock and Dewey Cox from Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox Story. The songs in Walk Hard are undeniably very good.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all written by Dewey Cox.
Mm-hmm.
Even the songs written in School of Rock by Dewey Finn are pretty great. He's
But
got
don't
some
they,
mad
don't
guitar
they use
solos.
the song that he didn't write?
They use both. The encore is the song that he wrote, and the one they perform is the song that the kid wrote, and it's sort of like a last minute swap. But they use both.
Got it.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Dewey pairing provides a lot of genre versatility to my crew here. And it prevents Jesse, Troy, and Danny Zuko from having to spend too much time on instruments. Because it's unclear that Troy or Danny can play an instrument. Jesse can play guitar, but the lead guitar has just been fully washed out by
Troy
Dewey Finn.
Bolton is going to have such a bad time.
He's not going to have fun.
Hanging out
Here's an
with
important thing to
this group of
understand
people.
is that Troy Bolton is just looking to start a career here. He is not going to enjoy this. I think he may be some people's favorite, but he will be in the background. There's no doubt about it. He does have dance moves, which I'm a little bit lacking for, so he could pull out a couple good dance moves. But no, he's going to have a really shitty time, and people are going to be constantly speculating that he's being, sort of financially taken advantage of.
Imagine what people will be speculating about with this group, you know?
I know. Yeah. Yeah. It'll be fine.
Wow.
It'll be fine. The behind the music's going to be sick. It's going to be amazing.
Dewey Cox trying to pressure SpongeBob SquarePants into coke
Doing
with him.
drugs. Yeah. Dewey Cox famously, doesn't do drugs initially. So
Initially, you
theoretically, I'm
say?
taking that version of Dewey Cox.
I think I
The
got to be honest.
Pre-Indian Enlightenment version.
I think SpongeBob would do really bad with drugs.
Yeah.
I think
so
he
too.
would. I think he would
He'd
really
burn
not
hot
handle
and
them
fast.
well.
Yeah.
I would be worried about that for him.
Yeah, they would have like the song is starting, introing all the characters, and then the final spotlight goes to lead man, and he's just like not there. He's in the trailer, just like doing bumps. Yeah,
Yeah, it wouldn't end well
doing
because
bumps
he's very
and,
absorptive
his
as a sponge,
oboe
you know?
notes or
Yeah.
whatever. Oh,
Like his
yeah.
whole body is like membrane.
Yeah,
Yeah, he does bath salts in a different way than we would do them.
Yeah.
yeah. I didn't even mean it that way. I just like personality wise, I think it would be bad. But yeah, that exacerbates it for sure. All right, Pat, who's your final Matt Damon?
Actually, I'm not going with the fourth Matt Damon.
You're
because I
abandoning
think-
Matt Damon.
I think three.
No,
Matt
he contractually
Damons-
has to take a Ben Affleck to accompany all of them.
I think three Matt Damons is a very funny amount of Matt Damons to have.
Okay. So now we've gotten just to the point of diminishing returns, and now we're
Right.
getting
We're
away
back.
from it.
I'm going to take Envy Adams from Scott Pilgrim here with my last pick.
Does this not break the rules of a boy band here?
Well,
It does.
we're rule breakers, Dan. Part of our appeal. There's the one. It's the one like pick me girl in the group. Gonna drive people crazy. You know, the rumors are gonna fly around.
Can you? Okay, I will allow it if you can name one boy band that we agree on as a boy band that has a female character in it, or female person.
I don't know why you're so fucking hung up on gender, Dan. Kind of weird.
Fucking get him,
I just think we all would have been
weird.
picking women here, and now you're gonna make
I
us
mean,
look
I
bad.
totally would have drafted Envy Adams specifically if I were
Yeah,
gonna, be
I
less
think
inclined
boy
to the
band
rules.
is more it's an industry term. You know what I mean? It's like more sort of a
yeah, for bands of boys.
Do you think? Okay,
You've got a chipmunk. He's got a
This is true.
sponge.
This is true.
Listen, Pat. This question I'm about to ask does not concede my argument on the pick itself. But do you not think Envy Adams is in actual danger with all of the Damons running around?
That's true. It's kind of irresponsible.
Like actual danger.
Because it can be Adams.
Because with all the Damons running around.
Yes.
In
The
what
Damons
sense?
seem threatening to Envy
really
Adams.
just the Tom Ripley, probably, honestly. Well,
That's
probably
really all it
Eurotrip
takes.
guy as well.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. I think Donnie from Eurotrip is probably mostly all talk. If I had to imagine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
he
think
seems
I
like a
agree
real
with that.
stand-up guy.
Look,
totally.
we're all in danger with Tom Ripley around.
Yeah,
It's not like,
this is true.
yeah.
She's not
I think
more or
he
less
only
dangerous,
kills
same
men
amount.
in that movie.
Okay.
No,
I'm still
no,
I'm still
doesn't-
not accepting this pick.
Doesn't he kill isn't there like a female friend that he kills when she figures
No,
out?
he's like maybe gonna, but he doesn't.
And he doesn't kill Gwyneth Paltrow?
No. She gets out.
Oh, okay. Huh.
I mean, Dan. what
Yeah,
do you think?
I know.
And
I'm not.
therefore, Envy
I'm not allowing
Adams
it
is
either.
an acceptable pick.
It definitely is not. But shout out Envy Adams. She's awesome.
The only reason I'm thinking of accepting this pick is I'm
No.
a little bit concerned Pat doesn't have a backup.
I think
And
it's a
does
totally
not have
viable
show.
pick.
He's got so many Damons.
I
to
didn't even
pick
think
from. What
this
are
was
you
going to be
talking
that
about?
controversial.
You can't take Envy Adams for your boy band. I'm sorry.
What makes it a totally viable pick? Please pitch me.
No. Don't give him the platform. Pat, you can't take
You're
Envy Adams.
deplatforming me
Yes.
with your gender essentialism?
Yes.
Fucked up. Okay, fine. I'll take the Iron Giant. I'm a boy. Is that what you want?
Superman.
Oh my god.
All right, Pat gets the Iron Giant. Let me take that off my list. I was just about to snag him.
Oh. Is this your pick, Pat, for real?
Tall, dark, and handsome. Yeah, sure. I guess, is that a boy? Is that enough of a boy for you?
Yeah, I guess.
Sings fucking bass.
Oh.
He's voiced by Vin Diesel, I'm pretty sure. So.
Sell me on the role Iron Giant is filling in your boy band, Pat.
Apparently a boy, and I guess that's the only criteria that fucking matters here.
How have we gotten here? Am I writing Iron Giant as your pick?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
do it.
Okay. Okay. Pat. I don't know. I can continue the show now. How do I continue from this?
Could have just let me have Andy Adams.
I couldn't.
I think it was a totally fine pick.
I couldn't in good conscience. Oh, God. I just realized I have to pick again. How do I follow up Iron Giant? I literally had just like tears streaming down my face.
I knew you were about to take him, so take your time in coming up
Oh,
with
my
somebody
God.
else.
I was. It was really sniped for me. I'm going to take Andy Adams here, guys. How do we feel about that?
I'm fine with it.
Yep.
I think Envy Adams and Connor for real actually would
Tie the
have.
bow.
I would love to see Envy Adams and Connor for real kind of have like a tumultuous like 6
Oh,
week
God.
thing.
Yeah. Yeah. It would be rough for all of us, though. It would be extremely toxic. I honestly forgot I had to think of another pick, and I was so just thrown by the Envy Adams pick, and then just absolutely floored and demolished by the Iron Giant pick, which I think might be the funniest pick in the history of the show.
I think it makes a lot of sense.
He can't even talk.
If
He's
I
the
went
stage.
crazy, girl, would you still call me Superman?
So now
This is super great.
pull.
lyrical
Okay,
pull.
now the whole brand of your boy band has to be Three Doors Down covers.
with 3 Matt Damons, a giant
Yeah.
sentient robot, and Ash Ketchum.
Oh, holy hell! I have a question for you guys. Have either of you seen Peppa Pig?
Yeah.
Because I've been searching for. I really want just someone who's good at dancing, just like a great dancer. Although Connor, Star-Lord, and Chip can all dance okay.
They're good dancers.
But for some reason, on multiple lists, Peppa Pig is listed.
As
Is
a
Peppa Pig
dancer?
just an amazing?
Is Peppa
dancer?
Pig a boy?
No, I'm not taking Peppa Pig. I just am curious as to why, like,
Have we
multiple
really
sources...
gotten to the point where we're just stray Googling things and Google AI, fucking Gemini or whatever, is just popping up with like lists, and you're like, what? Fuck,
No.
sure.
I'm not taking Peppa Pig. I'm just wondering, like, why multiple sources on the internet are listing her as like one of the top fictional dancers in all of fictional characters.
I mean, if you're looking for a top fictional dancer, then I think there's a pick sitting out there for you.
Magic Mike.
It's way better than what I was thinking.
What were you thinking?
We'll get to it after the fucking break, baby.
Okay. All right.
It was
Well,
a different
I
Damon.
I'm just to wrap us up here because this has been ridiculous. I'm just going to go ahead and take Delmar, who I was going to take
Okay, all right, fine.
with my last. I don't think Magic Mike. I don't think is even a character. Is it?
Channing
is it-
Tatum's character from Magic Mike is an acceptable choice here.
Can he sing at all?
Listen,
With abs
look at
like
the
that,
other. Look
baby?
at the team to your left.
They're to my right.
To your right. Look at the team to your right.
On my sheet. Yeah. Okay. I'll just go ahead and. His name is Magic Mike. Okay. I'll take Magic Mike. What the hell?
Yeah,
what the
wow,
hell?
What a daring pick. Really pushing the boundaries here.
Well, hey, listen. That is the final pick of the boy band's fictional characters to form a boy band draft. These are the teams. I have Chip Skylark, Steve from American Dad, Alvin of Alvin and the Chipmunks, Star-Lord from Guardians of the Galaxy, Connor for Real, and Magic Mike. Pat has, there's no way I get through this without laughing, Ash Ketchum, Jack Dawson, Will Hunting, Tom Ripley, Eurotrip Don, fuck, why did I write this way? God damn it. I just initially wrote Eurotrip, and then underneath I wrote Donnie, and so now I'm just mindlessly reading it. I read Eurotrip Donnie. Donnie from Eurotrip and Iron Giant.
The
Preston.
The
Iron Giant.
importantly, the
Preston has Troy Bolton, Uncle Jesse, Danny Zuko, SpongeBob SquarePants, Dewey Finn, and Dewey Cox. We're going to take one final break and then break those teams down in just a bit. Hey guys, thanks so much for sticking with us through our summer break. We are back, and to celebrate, we'd like to announce our newest merch line, the Don't Look at Me When I'm Reading line. We've got a t-shirt, we've got a hat, we've got a mug, we've got a sweater, of course inspired by the famous moment the last time we had Lauren on the show. Also like to announce a lot of price changes on the merch shop, including some stuff that's cheaper than it was before. So if you've not checked out the merch shop, maybe a good time to do so. It's a great way to support the show, in addition to all the ways you already do. If you're looking for more ways to do that, we would love you. Link to the shop in the show notes, of course. Let's get back to the episode. Okay, we are back to analyze the fictional characters to form a boy band draft. Where do we even start? Did anyone... It's Pat teased this. Who were some people that you guys had on your list? I had no one. I was scraping the bottom of the barrel, obviously. I had Delmar on my list, who I kept not taking. But that really was it for me. I was really scratching and clawing just to fill out my team there. I did. I knew it was going to be a bad pick, but I just couldn't think of anyone else. You know, like, does that happen to you guys? Like, you have something in your brain, and it just... You can't think of anything else. Like, it just was like just latched on my brain and didn't leave any room for me to think of any other characters. All I could think of was "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?" It was all I had.
When your options were every fictional male,
every fictional character,
ever.
All I could think of. Yeah, all that I could.
Well,
come
not
up with.
all fictional characters, apparently.
Male, all male fictional characters. Yeah, well, not even male, because Iron Giant I think is pretty arguably genderless. He's just a robot. But
Pat, who did you have?
Yeah, who are you going to say?
Well,
was
he
a
said
great
he was just
dancer?
looking for like an iconic dancer.
Yeah,
I was thinking he could go like Napoleon Dynamite.
Ooh,
that maybe.
That would have been a fun
Fantastic.
one, actually. Yeah,
Doesn't really steal the spotlight either, except for the dancing.
well, in a way.
Couple other. I mean, every Matt Damon character I think is viable. Colin from The Departed. You know?
Here's a question: who would have been the worst Matt Damon to take?
Ooh. The Martian, because he's not here.
No, but Dr. Mann from Interstellar is even worse.
Oh, God, yes. Gonna betray the group. Absolutely.
Yeah. And not in like a cool way.
No,
Yeah.
really shitty way.
In a very ham-fisted, the text is the subtext, man is the real monster way.
Yeah.
I had Andrew from Whiplash.
That's Miles Teller, right?
Yeah.
That would have been a crazier pick than anything that actually happened.
I think I avoided it at the last minute because I was like, he does have a bit of a psychological break at the end. So I did avoid it just a little.
Yeah.
He's also like at no point pleasant or charming or like...
No, just like very talented, but that's basically it. And then I had all the characters from Glee, and I also think it was smart to avoid all of those weirdos.
Probably smart.
Yeah.
Did anyone think about Cedric Diggory?
Just because of his charm and handsomeness?
Charm, the sort of like hot sad boy, and also he could just magic himself into a good voice.
Sad boy.
Mm.
Yeah.
No, I did not think of Cedric,
Magic himself
obviously.
into a good place. Yeah, no, it's fair.
Is
He's
that
dead.
real? But he's not dead the whole time.
I guess that's true.
You take pre-death Cedric.
Yeah.
I did not think of him.
No, me neither.
I can see the value he brings, though. What was the worst pick of the draft?
Difficult to say. I mean, when I started, my brain was like, "Oh, that's not a musician. That docks points from their team because they're not taking a musician." But now I'm thinking that's not, a character with like agency. So like the standards got different as the draft went on.
Really, only for Pat, I think.
Yeah, I still think I would have. Yeah, it's probably the murderer. If we're just being real here, only one of us has a character on our team that could do a murder.
Star-Lord has killed so many people.
Really good point, actually. Yeah. So, okay, you two have characters on your teams that have done murders, and I don't.
Would you classify any of Star-Lord's killing as murder, though?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. Through his inability to put aside pride, he murdered half of the universe, which, based on my reading of the Wikipedia
all came back,
page, is
though.
a lot more people than the talented Mr.
Also,
What's his name killed.
You can't argue that he murdered half the universe. That's ridiculous. That would never hold up in a court of law.
I mean,
I think that Tom Ripley's murders are pretty separate from his qualities as a member of this group. And again, 20 years later, when like, oh my God, it turns out that, but like in the here and now, his ability to like imitate anybody, to be anybody, to flirt across styles, to make anybody feel charmed.
Isn't his whole thing though, like that he's like so obsessed with like other people that he just like becomes like this really unhealthy attachment to them, and that's why he ends up killing the people he ends up killing, right?
Well, yeah, his schemes start to implode a little bit because he's trying to move above his station. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he's trying to pretend to be like rich and can't take any shortcuts to wealth in this life, which is why you got to work hard in a boy band, so then you can go solo.
Yeah,
so then you can eventually do a soundtrack to the movie Trolls that becomes your best-selling song.
Whoa, boy, that's dark to think about for some reason. I don't know why, but I worry that like fame would be rough on him, especially if he ever has like an iota of a perception that one of the other band members is more liked than him. I think would really be difficult for him to to stomach.
Well, and the fact that there's two other Matt Damons. It's going to be tough for him, too. You have some identity issues there.
True. Sorry, Preston, what were you saying?
I just think Full House would have been improved if Uncle Jesse did a murder at some point.
Really?
Yeah.
Like a murder episode?
Yeah. Like, I think I'm always a big fan of when stuff does like a genre-bending turn halfway through, and like Full House is a nice moral of the story, and then they find out that Uncle Jesse like killed a man.
Do we think Jesse gets away with the murder? And if there's a murder episode of Full House, I mean,
it's all resolved within 22 minutes.
Yeah. I think he gets away with it, and like there's kind of like he like is sheepish about it for like an episode or two, maybe.
Yeah, and then Michelle actually comes up and is like, "Uncle Jesse, you can't do the murder," and he's like, "You're right," and then it goes ba-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Well, so you think he does? He ends up
Roll
not
credits.
doing murder.
No, like I think he learns that doing murder is not the way to solve your differences.
Oh, okay, that's wholesome. Actually, I think it would work in a Full House episode.
I think so too.
Whose boy band is going to be best? Who's going to have the most success? If you're picking your own, you got to give second place.
It's sort of like whose boy band can do like a show without breaking up.
Okay, maybe whose boy band would you most want to go see their show?
Yeah, that's a good way of framing it.
I mean, I'm just throwing this out there. I have 6 musicians. Daniel has 4 by my count, and Pat has 0? 1. Pat has 1. Donnie from Eurotrip. So from a musical perspective, I think seeing the most amount of musicians when you go to a music concert is typically the way to go.
Preston, I just think yours is going to be so musically all over the place. I have a hard time seeing
That's a fun experience, though.
like a cohesive musical act with your group.
It's fair. It's fair.
Preston, would you rather see Beyonce or the 500 part orchestra from the children's choir of Moldova?
I can't tell for the bit which answer you want me to give here.
I'm just saying.
I think it's Beyonce,
saying
right?
that the one with the most musicians is the best.
I see. Yeah. Listen, Moldova's a great country. Don't rag on it. I have been there. It's great.
How dare you besmirch?
How dare you?
Moldova Child's Choir.
Chisinau is a wonderful town. What role is the Iron Giant playing in your band?
That's a good question.
The baritone, the bass.
The bass.
Boom, boom. Actually, he's probably like the speaker. Like they plug into him, and he's like the DJ kind of, and he's doing a light show.
This is what I was saying. Is he's the stage.
You can perform anywhere.
Yeah. Right. And then Ash is, has Pokemon fucking flying around.
What does that have to do with a boy? I don't understand what that is.
It's glamour. It's razzle dazzle.
This is your show's closer to like a Cirque du Soleil experience than it is a boy band.
But with like 4 hot Damon and
Matt Damons.
near Damon looking motherfuckers up there too.
I did think it got a little stale in the third act when they had one of the Matt Damons riding Charizard around. It just felt like overkill.
That can literally happen at my show. Don't you want to watch Will Hunting ride Charizard around the Iron Giant?
Do we think it's problematic that we didn't take a single person of color in this entire draft?
Dan?
Or is that just a reflection of the boy band industry?
The Iron Giant is silver. So.
Okay. That's a stretch.
I mean, I think it's a reflection of the boy band industry.
I think so
I'm
too.
going to go with that.
I don't think
Let's go with that.
any of us have anything that we need to tackle. It's society that
there's no work that we
that has all the issues. Yeah, I agree. Well, I think that brings us to a conclusion of this insane draft. We certainly hope you enjoyed it. Pat, thank you so much for joining us.
We have to name our bands, right?
Oh shit, you're right. Fuck. God, Jesus.
Fuck. I
completely forgot about that. I completely forgot. I should have thought about that during our last break.
Just look at stuff in the room that you're in and just sort of string it together.
I think I feel like I maybe have to do something with Chip in mind because I have Chip Skylark and Alvin and the Chipmunk. Mm-hmm. So that's the only thing that's leaping out to me. So maybe I go. I mean, who's Connor? I guess is my front man. Connor and the Chips. Connor's Chips.
Connor's Chips.
Terrible name for a boy band. What's like a good boy band name? I don't even know. Let's see. NSYNC, Backstreet Boy. Okay, it has to have boys in the title, right? It pretty much has to have boys in the title. I really don't know. I'm really struggling. Pat, help me.
You want me to name your band?
No. Just you name your band.
Oh, Three Doors Damon.
Yep. Makes a lot of sense.
But canonically, none of your characters are Matt Damon. They're just characters Matt Damon played. But yeah, but it's just like a knowing nod, wink and a nod.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Preston, do you have a name?
Yeah. I went with Dewey Louie's in the News.
That's good.
That actually really does encapsulate the vibe of your team.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
The
Wait,
Deweys are here.
Who's the Louie though?
Troy.
Okay.
His name's Troy Louis Bolton.
Okay.
I think it encapsulates very well the way that this is not really full of people you could see being in a boy band.
Well, yeah, it's not a fully fleshed idea, is what I'm saying with the name here. Yes.
Yeah.
And I think I'm just gonna
see the
go
work in progress.
I'm just gonna go Chip Street. I think.
Honestly, not
Fun.
bad.
Chip
Fun.
Street. Yeah.
I like it.
Okay, now that actually does conclude the episode. Thank you for that reminder. I did completely forget that we were supposed to name our boy bands. Pat, thank you so much for joining us. Is there anything that you want to... I'm re-platforming you now, Pat. Is there anything you'd like to get off your chest or promote or anything of the nature?
As I mentioned at the top of the show, I had to work today.
Yeah.
And that's because I'm a voting rights attorney, and we have a big election coming up.
Oh boy.
In case you haven't heard. Wow. Hey, Pat. We don't like to get drafted all political here.
Yeah, we're not about politics. We're just about like excluding people based on their gender.
Well, yeah, we just don't get
political about that.
Affect us. So yeah.
Anywho, Labor Day coming up, sort of the kind of when you turn the page into the last big stretch of the election, and I would really, really hope that everybody out there does their part this year.
We should do some sort of thing where, like, if you show us your voted sticker, you'll be entered to win some drafted merch.
Absolutely,
we should do that.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Is that legal, Mr. Voting Attorney?
Yes.
Oh,
okay,
cool. Okay.
I thought I'd ask while we had him, right? Like, who knows when we're going to see Pat again?
Speaking of Pat being attorney, Pat, you do have time for to record a Patreon special with us right after this, do you not? Is that accurate?
I have to do more work tonight, but I can still record this because tonight will just be the next 2 months for me.
Okay.
I just need 25 minutes of your time so you can tell me whether or not I'm able to take legal resource for a time that I was arrested. And by the way, I did mean legal recourse, but I've had 2 hot toddies. But
my new band name is actually Legal Resource.
Yeah. That's a little sneak peek for our Patreon special.
Yeah, a little tease. Oh, you only have to contribute $5 a month. You can do it. You could do 5 months or 5 months. You can do $5 1 month. Binge everything that's up there. It's a ton of content, and then stop your Patreon if you wanted to. You could do that.
Can I plug one more thing?
Yes, please.
Mm-hmm. The internet used to be good, and I recently came across a YouTube video that reminded me of when the internet was good.
Oh, yeah.
So everybody go out there, just Google Wario dies in a car crash.
Okay.
And it'll be like what the internet was when
it was good.
Lived in a society.
Cool. We can even post a link to it in the show notes potentially, or at least post it in the Discord. Either way, Pat, thank you so much for joining us. Remember, be sure to vote for the winner, as Preston has now watched the video and laughing his ass off as I'm trying to conclude the show. Be sure to vote for the winner of this draft, as wild as it was. The link to that will be in the show notes for sure. And yeah, we will, if you're not a Patreon member, we'll talk to you guys in a couple weeks. Superman. Your Vin Diesel is impeccable, I have to say.
Oh.